So, in the world of software development, what happens when your perfectly designed system slams into a wall that has absolutely nothing to do with your code? Well, we're going to dive into a pretty fascinating story about a sentiment analysis pipeline that answers that exact question.
If you're a developer, you've definitely been there. You design this perfect system. You write clean, efficient code, and then some problem from way out of left field just brings the whole thing to a grinding halt. So what do you even do then?
So, this isn't just going to be some dry technical breakdown. Nope. This is a story about real world problem solving, about resilience, and about proving your work is solid, even when you can't push it live. All right, so what was the mission here? It was pretty ambitious, but super clear. Create a system that could automatically grab any piece of text, we're talking customer reviews, social media comments, you name it, and instantly figure out if the sentiment was positive, negative, or neutral. A truly scalable, hands-off machine. And to build this thing, the developer turned to the Google Cloud Platform for its super powerful serverless tools. The architecture was, well, it was elegant. It was designed to be efficient and totally automated once it was up and running. Let's take a look at what makes it tick. Okay, first piece of the puzzle, Cloud PubSub. This is the front door. Any text that needs analyzing gets sent right here. Think of it like a giant, smart mailroom that just reliably takes in data and holds onto it, ready for the next step. So what is that next step? Well, that's where a cloud function comes in. If PubSub is the mailroom, the cloud function is like that super specialist worker who gets a ping every single time a certain type of letter arrives. Their one and only job is to open it, read it, and do something with it. And when you put it all together, you get this absolutely perfect automated flow. A script sends some text, PubSub catches it, and the very act of it arriving automatically triggers the cloud function. The function does its analysis, logs the result, and that's it. No servers to manage, no one has to click a button. It's just a beautiful event-driven design. So the code's written, the architecture is totally sound, everything is ready to go live. But then, our developer hits that real-world wall we talked about. And it wasn't a bug, it wasn't a flaw in the logic, it was something else entirely. And there it is. Not a technical problem, but a bureaucratic, logistical nightmare. A billing issue, completely outside the world of code, meant the entire cloud infrastructure just couldn't be turned on. The perfect plan was stuck on the tarmac. So what do you do? How do you prove a cloud application works without, the cloud? You get clever. The developer decided that if they couldn't go to the cloud, they'd bring a simulation of the cloud right to their local machine. And this pivot was just brilliant. Instead of deploying to Google Cloud, the developer used Google's own functions framework to run the cloud function right there, locally. Then, they cooked up a command to perfectly fake a message arriving from PubSub. The entire event-driven logic could be tested and proven, all from the comfort of their own terminal. And the result? 100%. Complete success. The unit tests, which are there to verify the core analysis logic, they all passed with flying colors. This just goes to show that the heart of the application, the code itself, was flawless. The project worked, even if it never actually touched a live server. Now, this local testing wasn't just some fun little experiment, It was absolutely crucial. It ensured that the very second that billing issue gets resolved, the project is ready for immediate deployment, with no surprises. In fact, look at this. The developer has the exact commands all mapped out, ready to go. The path to production is crystal clear and already scripted. It's basically a solved problem, just sitting there, waiting for someone to flip the on switch. The project is verified, it's validated, and it's ready. So, okay, what's the big takeaway here? Why does a story like this even matter? Because it really gets to the heart of what it means to be a modern engineer. It's not just about writing code, it's about solving problems. And sometimes those problems aren't in the code at all. So, here's what we can really learn from this whole journey. First, verification is not the same thing as deployment, but man, is it just as important. Second, solid local testing is your absolute best friend, especially when you're building for the cloud. And maybe most importantly, the best engineers find creative ways around all kinds of roadblocks, not just the technical ones. A project can be a total success, proven and validated long before it ever sees a live server. And that really leaves us with one final big question to think about. In a world that's so obsessed with launches and live products, there's something quietly amazing about proving your work is fundamentally sound no matter what obstacles get in your way. It really makes you question how we define success in the first place. Thanks for joining us.